Hello, everyone. My name is Donna McCarthy, and we are playing 316 Carnage Amongst the Stars with the Gauntlet. This week, we are going to be purging the planet Kandinsky. And let's take a look at our troopers who are going to be doing the job. This week, guys, instead of the usual routine of coming out of hyperspace, the journey to Kandinsky has been quite long and in real space. So you've had maybe a week of absolute boredom aboard the ship, the Terran Protectorate ship, the Atlas, which is the carrier that carries like all the troopers, all their equipment, all of the various flying war machines that bring you into battle. So let's go around the table and find out what your guys are doing when you get called into the briefing. Brian, what is Terry up to?
I mean, I think as usual for Terry, he's been spending a lot of time staring out of viewports at nothing, straining to catch a glimpse of something, even though it's more or less impossible. But I think at the moment he's probably what officer could he be pestering for information that they're never going to give him?
I suppose it depends how high up you want to go. The company commander, Captain Chen, maybe.
I don't know that he's probably trying to go to. Well, I guess if he's already worn out whatever sergeant he could get a hold of, maybe he's worked up the courage to go higher.
Or maybe the company sergeant major is exactly who you want to piss off. Sergeant Major Murphy is a hard ass, right? She has no time for messers, but you know, it's an angle you haven't tried yet.
Yeah, his fear of his commanding officers is getting overrun by his inability to sit still and not know where we're headed next, and so he's trying to play it cool and just like casually like ask about where are we going next, but he's not casual and cool at all.
Okay. So Murphy looks at you like, how is this guy still in my platoon? How can I not get rid of this guy? Well, Miter, Kaminsky is the name of this planet we're going to take care of. And, the scouts haven't come back yet. So, you know, my gut tells me that's a bad thing, but I'm sure you didn't hear that from me. Worry about getting your stripes, Miter.
Okay. Yeah. Kaminsky. Okay. Got it. Now he's probably. I think Terry's going to go back to whatever sergeant he was pestering and saying, "Hey, so we're going to Kaminsky. What can you tell me about Kaminsky?"
Kandinsky. No, Kaminsky is someone else entirely. We'll purge him later. Okay, cool. Cable. What is Cable up to, Christine?
Well, Cable has also misheard that we are going to planet Kaminsky. So instead of preparing anything about planet Kandinsky, Cable is after hunting down every bad thing that Kaminsky has ever done, ever in his entire career. And surprisingly, not that much. Basically, because he's just lazy and just like he's just too lazy to care about what he's up to, even if it is slightly dodgy. It's nobody really cares enough. So I'm really not sure why there's a planet named after him. It's not that my intelligence is low and I have no way to put two and two together. But Kaminsky's like, he's an all right kind of shot. But I mean, okay, it must have been his father, or his father's father, or his father's mother, because that's really the only way that there'd be a Kandinsky planet. Very confused. Very, very, very confused.
If only,
and also cleaning guns.
Yeah. If only Cable had a decent enough non-fighting ability, he might be able to look up the dictionary or the encyclopedia of purge planets.
It's at a 2, so I can do that, but
Okay. Harry, what is Pasadena up to?
Well, being the new guy, Pasadena's trying to ingratiate himself into the squad. So he's trying to get card games going or play darts with people. Probably not getting much of a response. So he has to turn to practical jokes.
Okay.
So seeing Terry there just staring out the porthole, staring for hours. Pasadena's got like a barf bag or something like that, and sneaking up behind Terry till he gets about a foot away and raises the bag up and smashes it behind him, making a huge boom sound. And
so I've got an important question. Is there barf inside the barf bag?
No. Not okay. That bad.
I gotta ask. Is Pasadena an absolute new guy, or just pushed into this platoon as a replacement, or maybe because he didn't get on with someone in his old platoon?
He's pretty new. He won't tell you that though. You can see it. You can see on his skin. He's not covered in scars and acid burns and so on. He looks tanned, like he's been resting a little too much.
Yeah. One thing you should do, Harry, is let's roll your current kill counter. So if you've got a fighting ability of 6, you can roll 60-10. And that's how many aliens you've killed until now. So this might determine exactly how new Pasadena is.
38.
Okay, that's not too shabby, huh? So he's been in a couple of fights, right?
Yep. Just enough to get cocky.
Yeah, but hasn't obviously gotten the scars that a lot of these poor folks do. Or maybe he just regenerates real well.
He's got a big toothy smile, that's for sure.
And Terry, how does Terry react to these pranks that Pasadena is inflicting?
I think he tries to just kind of play it cool, like it didn't scare him as much as it did. So it's just like, yeah, good one.
Cool.
Just, looking over his shoulder, like kind of paranoid.
So I like to imagine, Harry, that maybe it takes Pasadena a couple of days to find this new tack, and by the end of this week, I don't know, patience is wearing thin.
Yeah.
Cool. Horst, tell us what Kandinsky is up to.
Is this a 0G situation?
So no, when you're in hyperspace, usually it's 0G, but when you come out, there is gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Though it may be that this is like proper sci-fi gravity, which is caused by counter-rotation and all that, rather than magic anti-gravity. So maybe there's bits in the center of the ships where you can get good 0G.
Or for under thrust, it could be either accelerating towards the target or decelerating on approach.
Yeah.
I think that Kaminsky has. I think we have established that he has these roller blades or wheels under his shoes. It's not. We don't know that yet. But in any case, he's rolling in a very slow tempo down the corridors, probably listening to some 70s funk. And he might even have a joint.
So what officer or NCO really isn't liking this this rolling around, smoking?
I mean, smoking is not a problem, I assume.
But maybe it's just the unmilitary like bit of just rolling around on your heels like an 11-year-old. That's what he objects to, this officer.
Do I have to pick the officer?
You don't. I can give you a name if you want.
Yeah.
Let me pick a name. The platoon sergeant, Gunnery Sergeant Lee, thinks that he is in charge of every single one of you because the lieutenant has got other things to worry about. And Lee is like, I think this is the impression I get from you, Horst. Correct me if this is the wrong way to take it, but you try to push maybe every last bit of wheeling that you can, even if you know Lee is around, and it's just the skill of stopping rolling as soon as he kind of turns his head over towards you, right? There's a cat and mouse thing going on.
It's a very slow cat and mouse, though.
Yeah. And he knows you're doing it, right? He just wants to be able to catch you when there's an officer nearby that he can write you up or something. Okay, so I guess you're just making this is way too long to spend on a ship not preparing to kill something, and this is driving you crazy, I think. So yeah, the alarm gets sent to you to show up for briefing, and those are briefings at a company level. So that's the kind of 80 or 90 of you actively in F company to get briefed. Anyone going to be late? Anyone sitting at the front? Anyone too late to get a seat?
Yeah, I think Kaminsky's probably too late.
Okay.
I've got my feet up on Kaminsky's chair.
Cable too late to get a seat, or
nope? Cable was there on time.
Okay.
Yep.
So the whole room is full when Kaminsky arrives, and he's got to pick his way down through the seats to and say, "Excuse me," or whatever. Dump your feet off the chair. How do you approach that, Kaminsky?
There's a chair just right beside Cable, right at the front. Just so you know. I'm not saying I'm pointing it out, but
Kaminsky's definitely rolling towards Pasadena. I hope he's like a bit further in the back.
Sure.
And without removing his headphones, he says, "Hey, dude, can I sit there?"
I remove my feet and make a big show of welcoming you to your chair, Your Highness.
Yeah, I think Kandinsky starts some cool hand gesture thing that halfway through, just breaks down. And then he says, "Yeah, thanks, man."
So the
I think
captain
we could be
is-
friends, by the way, Kandinsky.
The captain has already got the hollow display up and running for the briefing. She is kind of like shaking her head at, like, she is looking at the company sergeant major. This is Murphy that you were talking to earlier, Brian. Like, how are you not controlling these people? She doesn't say it, but you know this is what the look means between her and her sergeant major. Well, thanks for joining me. Today, we are kicking the shit out of this planet, Kandinsky. Kandinsky, I've been assured, is the name of this planet. That's what it says in the briefing pack that I received from Battalion, at least. This is going to be interesting for everyone, I think. This is a low-G world. And these aliens are going to be strange. Like, they're fish, basically. They're big fucking fish flying around. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm pretty sure in Biology 101, this thing was not supposed to happen. But anyway, so this is the important bit of the briefing, children. The drop pods are not functional. We lost, not us, but the brigade lost the first squad of scouts to go down. Just the whole drop pod malfunctioned. I think it's the low G did not react well with our drop pod. So everyone, we are going in the old-fashioned way. We're going to taxi down all the way in the dropship. I presume everyone who wants to scream like they do normally can still scream, but please shut down your comms first, because we're going to have to listen to that shit this time.
Sorry, Captain, just want to check, has Captain Louis been compromised, or is he still with us?
Well, Chief Warrant Officer Louis, you mean?
Yes. Yes.
Or, I mean, properly Chief Warrant Officer Voight, call sign Louis.
Yes.
Compromised? I don't know what you thought you saw in the head last Tuesday, Cable. Or Chief Warrant Officer or pilot is not compromised. I'm going to stamp out that
I was just
rumor
wondering if he was dead or not.
I'm dead? How would he be dead?
Well, he was in charge of the drop pods.
Yeah, but he just drops those fuckers. He doesn't get into the drop pods.
Okay.
Like, he just lost 9 scouts. That's what happened.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
That's all right. No, that's fine. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought that. Oh. Ooh.
Okay, so
Pasadena raises his hand, waving it wildly.
Murphy, I think. Actually, here's the question for that you can all answer: Is Murphy the kind of sergeant major who knows everyone's name and their personal files, or is it like you trooper? What is Sergeant Major Murphy like? Anyone? Okay, I'll make a decision. So Murphy knows your name, even though you've only been in her company for a wet week. Pasadena, what is this?
Briefing says that the bogies are big fish. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what she said. Have you got a problem with your hearing, Trooper?
Does that mean they're make good eating?
I would not recommend it. I don't see anything that speaks to that in the briefing. Presumably the science buffs will, try it out. But I guess break open in case of emergency, right? I mean, if you prefer to die eating poisonous fish, that's your business. I'd prefer to go down fighting aliens instead of fighting aliens in my gut. You can dig the little tree in Pasadena if you start that shit. Okay, that it? No more questions? Excellent. They're not waiting for more questions. One bullshit question is their limit. So yeah, let's cut to the dropship. So normally the dropship carries 10 drop pods, which each can carry up to 10 troopers, and they usually drop them all. Well, 9 of them. They usually keep one for spare, or it's just not working from high enough orbit. But this time, basically the pods are there, and they're just being. You just sit into them as usual. They don't lock them up, and they're certainly not going to shoot them out. But it does mean you get to a bit more conversation with the crew of your dropship. So yeah, essentially, Chief Warrant Officer Voight is in command, even though he is not the senior ranking aboard. That would be Lieutenant Ndeki. But he's the pilot. He makes the decisions when it comes down to it, unless the lieutenant chooses to be a dick. So he's kind of wandering around, and he doesn't look particularly happy. Usually, I think Louis is pretty chirpy on the comms. But yeah, he doesn't look particularly happy this time. Did anyone want to jump out and have a chat with Louis, or you're just happy to not annoy the pilot who's got your life in his hands?
I mean, Terry is the nervous one, I think.
Yeah, Terry, do you think it's like, oh, Louis looks like he wants to talk. I must talk to him.
Go Terry, go Terry, go Terry.
I don't think they have any information about these fish birds. So I might be, if I'm able, I might get up into the cockpit and I'm looking out and just asking, wait, what's that? And pointing to its instrumentation on the dashboard and like, why is that blinking? What does that mean? Is that bad?
So I think what happens is you're kind of crowding in, and Louis just turns around and kind of looks behind you, and then the crew chief, Ward, comes in, and he usually kind of takes care of stowing all of the cargo, and you're a cargo that needs to be stowed. So he's pretty friendly, right? He kind of takes you by the elbow and says, "Come on, Miter, get into your seat." The pilot does not need any worry on this mission, right? Don't get in his space. But one thing you do see when you're getting back into your space is that the Lieutenant Ndewa, comes aboard, and she's like carrying a clipboard with some. I mean, it's kind of all piloty stuff, so it's not really in your bailiwick, but there's a lot of red on it. There's a lot of red and arrows and exclamation marks, and like, "Do not fucking go near here" is written on the top of the briefing sheet. So yeah.
Don't worry, Terry. Low grav landing. This will be a piece of cake. Nothing to worry about.
So yeah, so at this stage, like the whole company is in their seats, and there is in your drop zone. There's maybe 4 dropships doing a run, so that's basically the whole battalion and some support elements. Yeah, so this is quite a ride. I mean, there's no ear-splitting screaming as the drop pods get lamped out of the bottom of the drop ship. It's pretty smooth all the way down. And basically, you have landed before you know it. It is like Pasadena promised, a real piece of cake to land on this thing in a dropship. And everyone kind of gets unlocked from the drop pods and runs out the back ramp. And yeah, I guess it's a bit strange. You probably, I don't know, has anyone done low grav since basic training? No, probably not. Excellent.
Nope.
So it takes a bit of getting used to, and you kind of get out of minimum safe distance. The dropship is going to take back off and go back up to the Atlas. And as the dropship is taking off, you see one of these things just kind of fly in. And it's not quite, I mean, technically, I guess it is like a fish, but it's more like a giant manta ray, maybe 20 meters across, just flapping its wings very gracefully. And it just swoops in between you on the ground and the dropship. And it's got this kind of razor sharp tail, and it just cuts part of the wing off the dropship. You think not on purpose. It's just like just saying hello to another sky flying fish. And that the dropship kind of careens out of control.
Does it explode or does it just crash?
Nothing yet. But let's roll for dominance. So Harry, for dominance in an encounter, I'm putting 3 tokens out. You get to decide whether you all get to decide individually or together as a team who is going to roll their non-fighting ability. And depending on successes and failures, that controls who is going to dominate the encounter. So if the aliens succeed and everyone who rolls fails, they ambush you. If you get the highest success, you choose the range, and so on. So there's no one can tell you that you cannot roll or must roll. Everyone gets to decide that for yourselves, but a bit of discussion between yourselves isn't a bad thing.
Just going to remind everybody before Donna keeps on talking, like I have a non-fighting ability of 2, right? So I'm clearly the leader here. But if anybody else wants to take any kind of leadership, it's perfectly fine, my cable.
I have 3.
I know.
And I think Pasadena has 4, and then Terry has 6. So, and just to tell you, the alien ability on this planet is the highest FA. So, Christine, you're responsible for that as well. So their alien ability is 9, which is pretty high, right? It's pretty high.
My alien ability is also 9. Or sorry, my fighting ability.
Yeah, well, so the options on the sheets, one of them is highest FA, and I picked that. So I guess whoever wants to roll, you should roll. And once you've...
So we each roll, right?
No. So if
can.
you want to roll, you can roll. If you don't, say if you had a non-fighting ability of 2 and you didn't want to spoil your chances of getting an ambush on the aliens or whatever, you might decide not to
Oh, I
roll.
see.
But that's totally up to you. Corporal Cable is probably going to roll because feels like
Because
they're in
Cable's an
charge.
idiot.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. So yeah, everyone can roll if you want.
Yeah. Let's do this.
All right, so we're rolling fighting ability, right?
No, non-fighting ability.
Non-fighting ability.
Christine, did you rolled a 3, right? Did you click on fighting ability by mistake? Okay. Wow, some high rolling. Oh, wow, that's a lot of 10s. Well, let's see what the aliens roll. They might roll a 10 as well. No, a 4. Okay. So that is an ambush from the alien. So that means they get to set the range, and you all take a kill. So when you take a kill, you've 2 options. One is to take it on the armor, and one is to take it on yourself. The one you take on yourself, in between every encounter, you get to heal 1 level. So sometimes it makes sense to take it on yourself first anyway. And then the armor doesn't repair until the end of the planet, or unless something happens in the fiction to say that the armor would get repaired. But so yeah, everyone takes a kill, and the aliens will set the range. They will set the range at far. So you're all at far. Okay, cool. So what I like to think this happens here is that it's just such a surprise. And I guess you got the briefing and they were fish, but they kind of appeared soundlessly amongst you, and maybe when you all act with surprise, the low G gets you and you hop up a little bit higher than you really should. And this thing's tail slaps you, not with the cutting edge, but with the normal part of the tail, and just flings you maybe against the rocks. You've landed on this big kind of dusty plateau. And as you kind of look, the Louis dropship careens off to one side and it just disappears. So basically, you're kind of on a canyon edge, and he's kind of trying to take control of the dropship by just losing altitude as handily as he can. So he goes out of sight, but there's no explosion. Okay. So, okay, so that's our dominance, and then we're going to start fighting. So in this case, you can say what you're going to do. You can just fight. You can do something else, which is not fighting, if you wanted to. That could be like to change a weapon. I think we can assume. Are we? If that's fair, I should have asked. I think it's a fair assumption to say you all start with your normal weapon, which is maybe your. But I know Horst is keen to use his rocket launcher.
Very keen.
Yeah.
I definitely have my cannon equipped since I was able to upgrade it a bit. So
yeah, and I presume the same for you for Cable, because you never go well, except for that one time, but didn't work out well. You have your cannon of doom. Okay, and Pasadena, you probably have your energy rifle because you don't have anything much else at this stage.
Yep.
Okay,
Standard issue stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, this is an exceptionally well-equipped fire team. You've got the basically 3 heavy weapons and 1 normal rifle. So I'm not sure if this is by the book or everyone's really good at paperwork. That's what's going on here. Okay, so if you're fighting, tell me you're fighting. The aliens are fighting. So then just roll your fighting ability.
So my heavy MG is only near. So I'm not fighting. I'm moving, and then I'm going to shoot the motherfuckers.
So you've got 2 options on moving. If you just want to move, you roll your non-fighting ability.
Yeah.
If you want to move range, you can do it after a successful fighting roll. If you roll higher than your opponent.
Oh shoot! Yeah, shoot.
Okay.
Shoot.
The other thing we'll say just to bring Harry up to speed is, you know how the strengths and weaknesses work.
Yeah, I have a vague idea.
Okay, so at the start as a character you have 1 of each, and a strength allows you can spend a strength at any time. If you don't like what's going on and you just want to win the encounter, you just say, I'm using a strength. And basically, you remove all the alien tokens, you roll damage at your best range for your weapon, and you tell us a flashback for your character and how this helps them to, lay waste around them. You can say that at any time, even after the dice have been rolled. So if the dice are really bad for you, you can say, nope. The weakness works a little bit like that, but it's less nice. Basically, you take care of 1 token, and you get out of the encounter. So you basically escape the encounter, but it's not good for you. Kind of fictionally, maybe you're captured or you fall down a hole or something like that.
Got it.
Okay. Okay, so let me go back. So Christine, did you roll? No. So you want to...
Sorry, yeah. So the fighting ability would be what
Okay.
I'd be rolling because I want to, yeah.
And Harry, are you having Pasadena fight as well?
Yeah, so if I understand correctly, did I hear Cable say that her weapon works better at closer range? So she's planning on shooting and moving?
Well, that's what she's hoping for.
Yes.
But
right.
I think she'll just be shooting ineffectually.
So I think my thing is to provide cover for her.
Okay.
So I'm moving up with her. So I'm rolling fighting, and hopefully we'll move up together.
Okay, great.
And that's 2 10s in a row.
Oh, okay. So we have a success on 5 for Cable. We have a success on 6 from Terry, and 2 failures. And then the aliens got a success on a 9, which is the high success. So they are going to do a kill to everyone else. So everyone. So how it works is that the highest success goes first, and everyone below them, either with a lower success or a miss, gets hit. So everyone takes another hit. And this time, like that big 20-meter manta has just kind of gone through the ranks and maybe flitted down into the canyon. And then 20 small, maybe half-meter sized ones come zooming in like really fast behind it. And they are like smacking into you. It's like their radar isn't too good. They're not really trying to smack into you, but they are. And that's causing everyone a kill.
I'm using
sorry, I'm
combat
forgetting.
drugs.
Okay, so this is what I was just going to say. If you don't like what you rolled and you want to get a reroll, you have one use of combat drugs per planet. That allows you to reroll a fighting ability. And this can obviously give you a success where you had a failure, or it can bump you up in the ranks as well. Now, unfortunately for you in this case, the aliens rolled a 9, so you're never going to... No one has a 10 fighting ability, so you can't beat the aliens. You can only get even with them. So in this case, it's not probably very effective.
Yeah, no.
So
yeah,
would this
I'm
be a
done.
good time
Yeah.
to use this strength?
If it feels good time to you, yeah, you could definitely use one.
Because I think that we've already taken 2 hits.
Well,
Which
you've
puts
taken
us-
one in the ambush, and this would be everyone's second. Yeah.
Which is pretty bad, right? I haven't played before, but I think we're getting pretty messed up right at the beginning.
Yeah, it's
luckily Pasadena's a surfer, and riding the waves is second nature to him. So when one of these little things comes by, he's on its back, he's steering it into the big one, driving it off.
So I guess the name of the flashback is Surfer Dude or something.
Wave
I'm
Rider.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure if if I had watched Point Break in the last 20 years, I would be able to pull a good quote out of that. The recommendation: don't watch the remake. Okay, so yeah, so what you do with your strength is you take care of all of the tokens out of the encounter, and you roll damage. So you roll damage for the best range for your weapon. So I guess that's D10 kills. So you're gonna roll that, and then and maybe see what the roll is before you narrate. Okay, yeah. So that's 5. 5. Not too bad. So yeah, how does, apart from the intense surfing action, how does that look?
Well, it's basically I've got the big thing by surprise because I'm driving its minions into it, and that leads it off the track of attacking the rest of the squad. It's flummoxed by this new behavior that it's not expecting. I get close enough to it to ram it a little bit, and then I manage to jump down onto some rocks and lose sight of it. So there's a ball of confusion as all these things are swarming around. It doesn't know why its smaller ones are attacking it, and it flies off in the dust.
Okay. So yeah, and I guess with that, that swarm that has attacked you is pretty much driven off, and you have a chance to catch your breath. So yeah, at the end, in between encounters, everyone heals some damage, so that will bring you from, I guess, you didn't take that second level of damage from that one thanks to Pasadena's flashback. So everyone, I guess, would have been down to mess, and now everyone is fine again. So that, yeah, definitely save their bacon. But I think what's happening here now is that instead of having a real break for the next encounter, you are maybe getting shot full of combat healing drugs, and you're getting sent on this mission straight away. and what the captain wants you to do is to find this dropship, because without this dropship, you're not getting back off planet, and that would be bad in her opinion. She is fond of living on the Atlas and not on this canyon low G shithole. So yeah, second squad, find Louis, and if possible, bring it back to the company. And if not, she won't be happy. So yeah, I think you have to, pick your way down through these canyons in the direction. Maybe you do have a location beacon for the dropship, but it takes a while to find the right route. Picking way down the canyon, and then that's when you get jumped on by a bunch more of these aliens, who this time it's not by accident. They are looking to take you out. So I'm gonna put 4 tokens.
I'm going to interrupt because
Okay.
I am going to finally use one of my I'm going to have a flashback where right, there's 4 of them, right? There's 4 of them.
Christine, you're not even going to see if what the encounter dominance roll is?
No. It's going to be epic. I am telling you, right? Sit back, relax, enjoy this tale. Right, so Cable and he, believe it or not, back in the day, had a sweetheart. She was a simple-minded lady, just like himself, who agreed to go on a date with him. And they went to a drive-through movie because apparently it was, totally retro to do that. Then from out of nowhere, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and get some, chips and dip." And she went and got some chips and dip, and she didn't come back, which was really rude. But like at the interval, because you're not going to interrupt your own movie, he went and had a look for her, and realized that she had actually been attacked and had been set upon by multiple assailants. And he was like, "Oh, whoa. 1, you don't do that to my girl. And 2, oh, fuck. I can't have this coming back on me. I can't have anybody saying, like, I let her down. 3, my mother is going to my mother is definitely going to tell me that I've done wrong by this girl. I am screwed." So he then had to lay some smackdown on every single one of them. And he did, amazingly. And this kind of reminds him of the exact same situation. So instead of waiting to find out how many assailants there are, what kind of weaponry they have, how we could best maybe have an ambush, he just rushes straight in. And you can roll a dice to see if he even gets any of them. I'm perfectly fine with that.
No. So what are we going to call this flashback? Straight at him, down the torpedoes, or something?
That's my woman! Damn you! Sorry.
Okay. So what
the
rules are, you, just like they were for Pasadena's, you get to roll your best result for kills. So I guess it's 2d6, right? No, you get to roll 2d6. You're killing them. You just get to roll how many of them you kill on your That's My Woman fueled killing spree. Okay, 9. That's fine. So yeah, I guess it's like you described. Instead of being all subtle, like you're just charging in with no recourse to tactics, and you're just. I think the rest of you maybe are following the shell casings through the canyons all the way to the dropship. And it's landed rough, certainly. But you kind of see 2 pairs of boots sticking out from under it. Not cartoon has been crushed by the ship, but are trying to do some repairs on the landing gear. And Lieutenant Ndewa is there with a slug rifle, and kind of is quite nervous, I think, when you appear. Has good trigger safety drill hammered into her, so it's she doesn't shoot you. And it's like, whew, we're glad to see you. It's like, where's the rest of the army? You're muted, Christine.
Yeah, sorry, I was actually talking to my dog because I think I upset her with my description of what happened.
That's fair. It's like, Murr?
A lot of whining. Yeah, no. So, what do you mean? What happened to the rest of the army? We were the ones who were sent to retrieve the pod.
No, the dropship. You're retrieving the dropship.
Yes, that's what I said. No, oh yeah, that's what I not said. Yeah, we were sent to retrieve the drop.
Corporal, you are the pod people. We are the dropship people.
Yes.
You are the pod people.
And,
why is this strange for you? We know this. We're here to save you, okay? Do you want your ass saved or not?
Okay, well, set up a perimeter or some shit. We're nearly.
Have you not already done that?
One person a perimeter does not make.
Lazy ass people are you? No, don't even bother. We will take over from here. Right, that is perfectly fine. We will take over from here. Kandinsky, Terry, you guys know what you're doing, and Harry, what is Harry?
Pasadena.
You stay with me.
What do you want, boss?
Yeah, you stay with me. We'll set up a secure Eddie.
Got your back.
So yeah, the lieutenant obviously wants to dress you down, but I think for once you're actually kind of professional, and she can respect that, I think. Or at least she can't get a word in edgeways, maybe. There was a moment there in between secure and itty that she could have gone, but no, to say like perimeter, but no, she didn't. Yeah, and so it's like an hour later, maybe they have done all the repairs and they're ready for a takeoff.
I was going to say, I would how defensible is this position? And is there anything we could do to dig a trench or anything just to make it?
Well, I mean, against flying fish, I'm not sure. I mean, like you're in the bottom of a canyon. The trenches seem like they wouldn't be quite so helpful. Unless you just want to hide. They would be really good for just hiding.
Yeah, I mean, we just dig some spots to just have some hidden positions just to...
Yeah.
I would probably try to force Kandinsky to actually get out his shovel and... dig a hole.
Has Kaminsky even carried his entrenching tool?
Come on, Kandinsky. A little extra work here, and then if they attack, it'll be an easier fight.
So Kaminsky shakes his head and very, very slowly and with sighs, he takes a half of the shovel and flings the dirt in the direction of Terry.
It's like, I didn't even want to come on this holiday.
That's not what I signed up for.
And also, that wasn't what you guys were told to do. You were told to secure the securitification of the securitifyingness of this.
Yeah, that was Terry's interpretation of his orders.
Yeah.
Unless Terry is suggesting that we could lure them in and then kill more. Are you?
No, Terry just doesn't want...
No, that's a great idea. Oh my god, this is brilliant. Yes, I completely agree with this. Okay, fine. Everybody, dig trenches and we can definitely bring them in and we will be able to fight more of them. We will kill more of these buggling things. Definitely, yes. This is what we're gonna do. Okay, everybody, dig trenches.
So I think, have you dug, this perfect kind of killing ground of foxholes and maybe a trench and a communication line, and it's like we can take on a full company of troopers like this, and Louis comes out to kind of walk the line, and I like you're setting up some rocks to shore up the defenses or something. It's like, we're leaving. Are you guys coming with? I mean, we can give you a lift back if you want to stay here and eat rocks for breakfast. I'll tell your wife hello when we get back.
That's fine, Chief Warrant Officer. We understood that we were to ensure that you were secured.
Did the captain say anything about making sure that she gets her dropship back?
Yes.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
So, do you require us to see you off, or do you require us to go with you?
I don't require shit. I don't require shit, Corporal. I'm offering to give you a lift back instead of humping it across like 6 or 7 kilometers of canyons filled with fish.
We're taking the lift, please.
Okay. Well, I can take 4 in the back of my cab. That's how it works.
Yeah. No. We're going with that. Do you need a gunner?
If Ward hears me offer a gunning spot to anyone else,
He doesn't need to hear it.
She's gonna rip me a new one, right?
Yeah.
Because
okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Totally understand. Yeah. Dibs.
I mean, like, I guess there is a port in a starboard gun, but we never use them. It's it's just some goon designing it said, "Hey, dropship gotta have door guns." I don't know. Someone watched one too many action movies. It never happens.
Could have come in handy when that dust off took place.
Sure, maybe. But you drove them off. Ward said he looking out of the back window because he was not secure. He was face planted into the back viewing port, and you took care of them pretty well, as far as I can remember. Anyway, we're heading back to the barn, so to speak, at least the plateau where we dropped your sorry asses, and we'll see what the captain says from there.
Sorry, can we take a break for 5 minutes? I need to calm my dog down because I don't think she really understood what was going on. Sorry about that.
No worries. We take a 5-minute bio break, and I can grab
Thank
some
you.
coffee. Okay, cool. Okay. Is Diana all calmed down now?
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, I was asking if Diana was all calmed down now.
Yeah, no, she's fine. She's she's on my foot.
Bailey is just about used to the fact that if I'm at the computer like this, he gets nothing out of me, so he just stays asleep for the whole session and waits till I'm finished before wanting out.
She is definitely still at the stage of, I don't know what's going on. What's going on? Why are you being angry at the computer? Oh my god! What? Oh no! I'm not angry at the computer. Everything's fine. It's okay. Who's a good girl? Yes, you are. Who's a good girl? Yeah, we're still a very good girl. Here, Jack. See where? So, Cable might be very cheery about any kind of interactions from now on.
There you go. No more anger, because that's scary.
Oh, anger management.
Yeah.
Involves having a puppy who can't deal with your anger.
Okay.
What kind of puppy is it?
It's a German Shepherd, right?
Sorry. Yeah, it's a German Shepherd, and she is 6 months old. So she is tiny, but also huge.
Big feet.
Not biggest ears. Biggest of ears. Yes, she will grow into her ears. But she is perfect. She's actually very good-tempered, which is very good. But yeah, she had no idea why I was getting angry at the computer. I'm really sorry about that.
If the laptop is wrenched out of control by a seemingly rabid dog, she's just leaping to your protection.
Oh no, this dog has leapt behind me after a small dog came up to say hello. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the flight back to I guess the company HQ is uneventful. They've kind of set up an emergency kind of company tent to do the next mission briefing, because high command are not too happy about having to do drops in this kind of environment, especially where the fish are able to cut a dropship in half. So yeah, you're staying down here for the foreseeable. So the captain gathers you around. It's a bit of a low tech effort, but yeah, she has a mission for everyone. In the kind of last hour, a lot of the aliens have kind of gathered into these great, I don't know, shoals, schools. Not herds anyway. The science boffin said not herds because they're kind of fish. Flocks, who knows? Groups, right? We're going to stick with groups. And they seem to be migrating up to a higher plateau. So we're going to intercept them and shoot the shit out of them. That is the technical term. So she kind of has a traditional 2D map drawn out, and maybe scans it to transmit to everyone's HUDs, so you can see it. And basically, there's this canyon kind of winds and then ends up at what looks like this great big. It's not a waterfall, but maybe it has been in the past, but like a waterfall-like structure going up to the higher level of the plateau, and they seem to be following that route and then going up, just flying up that giant cliff. So you're gonna hike to that bottleneck point, and then I think someone mentioned something about a turkey shoot. So yes, she doesn't want to risk the dropship. So yes, you are doing it the old-fashioned Grand Panda route. Any questions?
Sir, is there any chance that these invasive species are not aggressive on purpose?
Cable, I'm glad you said that, because I can see a few people who aren't happy with the aggression these aliens are showing, but let's be confident. We are going to genocide the shit out of these aliens, whether or not they play the game. Everyone got it?
Hell yeah!
Okay, they took down a dropship. They nearly killed our pilot. They killed Wagner in 3rd Platoon. They took his head clean off. The medics couldn't do anything. Make no mistake, people, if you're having second thoughts about how serious this is going to get, it's going to get serious. We're going to wipe every last one of these motherfuckers off the planet. And this place is going to be like a holiday camp. These canyons are going to be full of people on holidays, jumping around in zero-G suits. It's going to be fun. This place is going to be a monument to Terra. Because when these, like last time out on Juror, those werewolves I could respect. The time before, those Silver Surfers, they were kind of awesome, right? They shot the shit out of us a lot. They killed us fair and square. But I'm not going to accept that these fish don't want to play by the rules of the game. They're killing us and they don't care, but I care. Make sure everyone is locked and loaded and ready to kill these bastards. Everyone understand? It's a good question, Cable. We'll see if you can get a 3rd stripe on your shoulder this time. That's the kind of calling out of some kind of bad attitude that I like to see. No mercy. And Murphy doesn't even ask for any more questions. They're walking.
Yeah, so obviously Cable doesn't ask any more questions, but I'm just going to remind you that one of the reasons why Cable got involved in the first place was that he had some idea that aliens were some sort of romantic ideal for him. And yeah, he hasn't quite gotten over that yet. And, you know, they could be friendly. They might be someone that isn't hostile. It might be that there's a race out there that we can connect with and, you know, aspire to or something.
I guess it's possible, right?
So yeah, I'm just reminding you of that in case you had forgotten.
Oh no!
That's where Cable is kind of going.
I think Captain Chen might have, you know, in her secret heart understood that this wasn't, you know, entirely fair. But genocide is the name of the game, and well, you know, the name of the game in fiction, at least. So yeah, that's you're. I mean, am I injecting some pathos as a GM into the game that these perfectly happy, peaceful aliens are going to get slaughtered by you? I mean, I don't know. That'd be a terrible thing to try to do, right? So let's start the next encounter. In this encounter, I guess you're kind of hiking up to that bottleneck that the captain has identified. But while on the map in the briefing, like, oh, all the aliens are going this way. Well, they're not. They're taking different routes, just like normal migratory animals might. Some of those are down in the canyon. Some of them are up high. I guess you would say the majority of them are following the route or close by the route as the captain suggested, but not all. And so you're kind of hiking, trying to get down into a canyon to get up to the bottleneck when a swarm of these guys come over and are on top of you. So, and they're going to keep on coming. So I am putting 6 tokens on the encounter. That's a lot. That is a lot. Okay, so who is rolling dominance?
Oh, roll.
I'll hang back.
Okay, so I guess you have 1 success. I'm going to roll for the aliens. Oof. Okay. So they have the highest success, so they're going to set the range. They are setting the range at far. No, they're going to set the range at near. Okay. I think, yeah, they're going to set the range at near. And as well, what you notice, and it seems maybe a little bit strange, is that these ones, when they flick their tail, there's an electrical discharge. And that electrical discharge shorts all of your weapons. So they're using their alien ability, which is stop technology. I'm spending a threat token to do so. And what that means is, let me just read the description. By spending a threat token, the aliens prevent any technology from working in the combat round. That means that the usual trooper weapons will simply fail to work. Hand-to-hand attacks are unaffected by this ability and may be the trooper's only method of attack. Okay. So.
What about grenades, though? I mean, that's not really technology.
Okay.
Unless it's a grenade launcher or something.
Well, yeah, so it says guns, bombs, and missiles. So my inclination would have been to say grenades are bombs, but I'm not sure. Does that seem like a reasonable interpretation to you guys?
Well, grenades work at close range. Close.
Yeah, they work at close and near, though they're usually quite ineffective at near range. But at least at near range, they don't kill your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it specifically says hand-to-hand might be your only option. And since you always have grenades, like if they were supposed to work, then wouldn't say that, I don't think.
Yeah. But like stop technology, like I'm not saying that your suits aren't breathing for you or doing all the stuff that they do. It does Yeah, it says this means the usual trooper weapons, guns, bombs, and missiles will simply fail to work. I mean, I guess you kind of have to make a call weapon by weapon. Yeah. Okay, so let's. I mean, I guess you probably find that out pretty quickly as soon as you bring your weapon to bear, and then maybe an instinct is to try a grenade instead, because maybe you think it's tied to the kind of the energy side of things, but then those bombs don't go off either. So the aliens go first in that combat round, and they're doing 1 kill to everyone. And then anyone who got a success gets to remove a threat token and do their kills at that range. So, yeah, which is not going to be much, actually. Hand-to-hand only is close range. Yeah, close combat only. Okay. So yeah, if you don't have a kill, then you don't do a kill, and because they rolled the highest success, no one gets to change their range either.
Sorry, we were rolling for dominance. Is that the same as rolling for combat?
Yeah, that we haven't rolled for.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just explaining how it'll work when you, I guess at the current range. Unless you want to move in close as your combat action, or trust that you'll roll a success and higher than the aliens, and then you can move in close. But at the moment, if you stayed where you were in the combat round, you wouldn't actually be doing any kills. Okay, so that's just so yeah. I guess the question to go around the table is who's fighting, and then who is, if you're not fighting, who is trying to change range to get in close.
So what are the options if we use fighting ability and have a success? That would mean we could move the distance, or change the distance, but we wouldn't cause a kill with hand-to-hand.
Yeah, so to change range, you have to succeed on your fighting ability and get higher than the alien. And then your other option is to do non-fighting ability, which is just on a straight roll, you get to change range.
Got it.
Okay. So I guess this is probably important that we get. So let's just go through the table. Brian, what is Terry doing?
I like this range, so I think Terry is just. I will use an NFA to try and get my gun resistant to whatever this is. He's trying to figure out how he can get the E-cannon running.
Okay. So you're trying to maybe short wire it, try to circumvent anything. Maybe there could be some damage to the weapon. You might have to overload it or something like that. Okay. Christine, what is Cable doing?
So moving in, I think, to get close range, because the last round didn't appear to do anything. So therefore, in Cable's mind, must move closer. Yeah, so that's it.
Okay. Harry, what's Pasadena up to?
Pasadena is trying to work the action on his electro rifle. It's not working. Frustration, he's unplugging it from the battery power pack on his waist and hefting it up like a club and running toward the things.
Okay, so is that the fighting or trying to change
Fighting.
range? Okay.
Well, I guess I'm trying to change range so I can fight. I can't really fight at near range with a club. So.
Okay. And horse, what is Kaminsky up to?
Kandinsky is trying to move to far range.
Okay. So the aliens are attacking. So I guess everyone make their NFA checks. Okay, so the aliens succeed on a 6. Terry succeeds on a 2. Pasadena succeeds on a 3. So, so Harry, you can move Pasadena into close range. I guess Cable and Kaminsky are stuck where they are, and Terry somehow gets a good enough roll to. I mean, it's not a great success. I think the techies back aboard the Atlas is going to be giving out hell to you with the long-term damage that you've done to this beautiful e-cannon, but it's worked, right? And the aliens go first, and they are killing everyone. At least they're doing damage to everyone, right? They just don't kill you. So yeah, put that. Make yourself a mess, or take it on your armor, whatever you prefer. Okay. So
That's the second kill we've gotten from this combat, I believe, right?
No, that's the first combat round.
Okay.
The first roll we made was just the dominance. But yeah, I was just explaining it badly, I think, in terms of what would happen in terms of what if you were at a range that your weapons were ineffective at. Okay, and the aliens, because they beat people, they're actually going to push. They're going to push people away. They're not going to push Pasadena away because he's charging them. They're going to push everyone else away. So I guess you get Kaminsky gets his wish. So here's the warning: if they get to push you again and they push you outside of range, you're out of the combat. And then we can discuss how you could get back into it. But basically, if you're out of the combat, you're not affecting it at all. Okay, and Terry succeeded in his NFA, so he's going to be rocking and rolling next turn. So I presume this round you are shooting, right? Okay. Christine, what is Cable up to this round?
Shooting massively while ineffective.
Okay, but
running.
Remember,
Yeah.
I guess, what does a machine gun look like when it has been stopped? I guess it's just not firing, right?
Yeah. So has the machine gun out, which isn't working, so throws it, and then while running tries to figure out how to get grenades. Like, I don't know if you've ever run while trying to take anything off of a belt, but it's not very effective.
It's not fun, is it?
Yeah, it really isn't. So this round is basically just trying to run while throwing, while being awkward. It's an awkward round for
Yeah,
Gil.
yeah. Okay, so you're trying to change range. Harry, what is Pasadena doing? You're using your club the old-fashioned way, right?
That's right. I'm taking these things down.
Cool. And Horst, what is what is Kaminsky up to?
I think Kaminsky tries to, he tries to repair his weapon somehow. I mean, I've seen, or maybe I've seen Terry fixing his weapon. Is that true?
I guess you're about to see him let rip. So like the timing, maybe you're thinking of doing something else, but then you see him let rip, and there must be some way around this.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to get your weapon operational as well?
Yeah, and it doesn't look pretty. It's like a lot of hammering on the thing and cursing.
And this is your rocket pod, is it?
Yeah, it's the rocket pod.
So this is going to breach every safety standard in the universe, past and present.
Hell yeah.
I mean, if you take a hammer to the back of the rocket, it's going to shoot out, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, Terry is trying to shout like his tips, just
yeah.
You got to just manually, bypass the power pack straight to the, triggering mechanism.
In English.
Just cram the blue box right up to the red switch.
Now is when we find out that Kaminsky is colorblind, right? Okay, cool. So everyone roll. NFA if you're doing something non-fighty, and FA if you are doing something fighty. Okay, so the aliens are going first again. So, sorry, and this is a situation where maybe combat drugs would help. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, you can use that to re-roll if you wanted to, but again, a warning that if you use your combat drugs and you roll a 10, you take damage anyway. So that's not good, right?
So considering what Cable's trying to do, right, which is trying to be combat-y, even though it's very much non-combat, can I roll my
to change range? Or not really, because you're
I thought so. I was just being cheeky. I'm going to use my combat drugs in order to re-roll, because 0 success and 0 success. It's
fine. Okay. So the aliens go first, and on a 7, they are killing everyone again. Yeah. Harsh. So everyone take another hit. And then Terry rolled a 4, so did Pasadena. So you both get to remove a threat token. Do that now. Brian, you get to roll your kills for Terry.
Nope, not at long range. I just do 1.
Oh, okay, 1. Okay, cool. And it will be the same for Pasadena, right? With hand-to-hand at close range. Why don't you describe how that works, or how that looks, rather?
Yeah, it's hard to see because of all the dust that's coming up off of this planet in the low gravity. But these things are swarming around Pasadena. He's all alone up there, but the butt of the rifle cracks out in one direction and then another, and the things are being held off till one of them grabs him and actually lifts him up in the air, and he's got to push a latch on his armor to release the carapace in order to get away from the thing. He falls down and luckily lands kind of on one of them and smashes it into the ground.
Okay. Let me see what. Yeah, I think these guys are gonna keep you where you are because you're not doing them much damage. Yeah. So I guess we're gonna roll again for another round of combat. What's everyone doing? Same as before, or yeah?
Gonna try and move forward again. So I've already used combat drugs, which means that I don't have that again. So this time I'm going to use a weakness.
Okay. So what's so this is going to remove you from the.
Yeah, I know, but it's also going to remove a token, which might help.
It might help. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you just in case you're not aware, I'm pretty sure you do have a second strength available if you did want to, or maybe you want to save that for later.
Do I?
Yeah. So when you got your bump.
Oh,
yeah,
actually, yeah. Okay,
so,
fine. Yeah, no, I'll use the second strength. Yeah, no, that's fine. The second strength. Oh, wow.
No, I'm not saying you should use it or anything. I'm just reminding you that you.
I'm gonna use it. It's our last session. Okay. Come on.
You're not going to come back for the next the next sector, no?
It's our last session this time around.
Okay. Yeah.
So this time around, the strength is that. Actually, can I let you guys go first, and then I'll come back because I need to think about this.
Well, I guess you can use your strength at any time, right? But after
the aliens are about to do a kill to all of us, so probably.
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
okay.
I haven't even rolled for them. Yes. So.
Okay. All right. So this is it. My strength is. This is gonna be terrible. Cable. When Cable was 7 years old, got given a radio set. Actually, got given the makings of a radio set and heard up. Because, that's what you did back in the day. You made up your own radio set, and then you were able to send out signals to whoever you wanted to, or receive signals from whoever you wanted to. And that was all really cool. And then Cable started receiving these really weird kind of signals that other people weren't saying that they were receiving them. And kind of thought maybe these are some sort of alien signals, but I mean, who believes in aliens, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe there are. Not saying there are, but kind of deciphered all of these codes. And, well, Cable is actually really aggressive and has an awful lot of anger management issues and really wants to kill everything ever. Most of the messages were really, really interesting from the point of view of We want to be your friends. We want to communicate with you. We want to, there's no sort of let's not be enemies kind of things. And now kind of looking at them going, you know what? I can speak the language of these flying mantis. Sorry, manta rays. No, mantis rays? Manta rays. Cable can't read very well.
Fish.
Manta fish. Okay, that'll do. Yeah, so the manta fish peoples, they have the flappy, flappy, flap, flap, sleep, flap, flamp, 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 flampke, flamp, 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 flappy, flap, squirtle? Okay, I think that means we want peace. So Cable does that and does it in the flappy, flappy. This is what my wings would look like if I had flappy, flappy thingies.
So how many of those do you kill?
Well, put it this way, right? Kandinsky is obviously my internal nemesis. So I do that, and he gets all the kills.
You happy with that, Horst?
I'm more than happy. I have 0 kills, I think.
So
something like 3 in the last 2 sessions.
Yeah. So was it D100, right? With the rocket launcher, is it? Something crazy like that?
No, it's
2D10, sorry.
10.
Yeah, okay. I think D100 is the maximum. So roll your kill, roll the kills you're getting by proxy, and let's see how it goes.
10.
Okay, that's perfectly average, right? Okay. Just you're in the lead currently, just so you know, on the planet. Cool. Okay. So that removes all of the tokens. And it's a strength, so I don't think you're not leaving them escape as such, but some people might think that higher up, but not in your immediate vicinity. These guys are causing you some real havoc, so that's how it goes. And I guess the rest of the company is following the lead in terms of trying to kill them as quickly as they fly into range, and maybe they're a bit placid now that they've been made to understand that you are just peace-loving and fish-like human beings. So I don't know. It works out, right? Okay. So this kind of migratory carnage takes a few days. There's a lot of aliens coming through, and basically you're now getting like airdropped pods full of ammo and energy clips to keep you in the fight, because these things are just flying through quicker than you can kill them. And eventually someone in high command says, okay, well, fighting these things with bullets and bombs is not working. We have plan B. So the captain calls you in to give you plan B. And she's tired. She looks really, not unless you have a lieutenant. When you're a lieutenant or higher, there's a a weapon or an ability called Orbital Bombardment, which does D1000 kills. But you know, you need to get promoted a few times before you get up that far. No, their plan B is much nicer, right, and peace-loving and genocidal. They have identified these. This migration is part of a breeding cycle, and they have identified the breeding zones where these things are heading to. And you have some basically barrels of poison gas that you're going to roll into those breeding beds to kill them all.
Okay, so you know, like killing them all is acceptable because it means that my kill rate will go up. In theory, but I'm not voicing this. I'm also kind of going, well, I don't really want to kill them all because clearly I did communicate with them in order to at least stop them a little bit to allow my nemesis, who I will never admit is my nemesis.
Yeah, so I guess
strategy been implemented.
Or people in the what's the name of this group of people going to be? I think there is a group in the brigade called the 17th Special Studies Group. And they, I think, are a mix of military-minded science specialists and special force assassins, or maybe they're all both. I'm not sure. But anyway, they have utilized all of the records of your communications with these aliens, and they have come up with countermeasures that will basically identify ye as friendly until you start doing something that is definitely not friendly. And also what they have is they have this kind of they have put it's not obviously an actual Faraday cage, but it's like a cowling that goes on your Mantelbright armor suits that will stop this electrical discharge from affecting your weapons. And basically using your language skills, right? They have they've been like, if they were just doing this as a physics exercise, it would have taken them quite a long time. But because they have the language codes now, they can make it work much, much better. Thank you, Corporal Cable.
Welcome.
Okay. Okay. So okay. We're gonna make this a 5 token encounter. That is all of them. So yeah, let me kind of set the scene a little bit. For this mission, you are using a dropship because it's a long way to go to these breeding grounds. And up on these plateaus, there's then kind of a hollow area that goes way, way down, almost below like normal ground level, normal like sea level, I guess, or whatever, 0 meters above on the computer. And the kind of the normal atmosphere that's on the rest of the planet is much, much different down here. So basically loads of heavy gases settle here, and this is the science boffins think that that's the atmosphere, the gas mix that these eggs need to, I don't know, pop out sprog mantas. And so they have designed this gas to interact with those badly and to basically kill all those egg sacs. So in maybe half the dropship is full of these poison gas barrels, and the other half is a few squads, and maybe some of these science boffins who are going to supervise.
Sorry, have we had a chance to recover any health or comfort?
Oh yeah, so as before, in between this encounter and the last encounter, you recover back up one level. Yeah. So sorry. So in the first encounter, you took a damage because they ambushed you, but you heal that back. In the second and third encounters, you didn't take any damage because you strength straight off the bat, I think.
No, I took one.
You took one.
Second.
Yeah.
I think we took one in the second.
Okay. But you would have healed that back. And then in the last encounter, I think you all took 2.
Yeah, okay. So we're
so you're all currently a mess. Because again, you heal back from cripple to mess every time.
So
I used
have we
armor.
also gotten back combat drugs?
Used armor. The combat drugs gives you a reroll, and it only does damage if you roll a 10.
But have we the ability to do that?
That's a 1 time per planet.
Okay,
right?
that's good. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, 1 time per planet. Okay.
Cool.
And one last question: the armor that got hit is still out.
Yeah, so armor again is once per planet. So if you used your armor already, that's it. You're probably fine then with.
No, I'm still a mess.
Okay, you're still a mess. Okay. Okay. But then you still have a strength or a weakness.
Oh no, sorry. I'm fine actually.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you'd be fine. But yeah, it might be useful to have a quick scan of what everyone's strength and weakness. So Cable has 1 weakness left. So does Kandinsky. Terry has 1 of each. And Pasadena has a weakness. Yeah, okay.
It would be really cool if one of Kandinsky's had something to do with Cable. Either a strength or a weakness. Either, like, I'm suddenly your hero, or that bastard who got promoted before you, or something like that. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, I only have the weakness left, so let me think on it.
Definitely, I'm that bastard who got promoted, or something really crappy.
Yeah, I think the weakness is break in case of imminent death, right? Okay, so I guess that's worth doing. So yeah, there are. I guess when you've got to go down into this, big hollow zone on the planet below this plateau. You've got to kind of lug down these big, big heavy metal containers or maybe plastic containers of poison. It's kind of hard work in that regard. And I think as soon as you poke your heads into the near vicinity of the breeding grounds, your IFF baffling is going to is probably going to at least be challenged. So yeah, let's. I think we're going to roll for dominance. Who's rolling? Okay, so roll them and let's see what happens. Maybe we're going to see an ambush. I'm sure. So let me roll for the aliens. Ooh, there you go. They failed. So now, if you had left it to Terry, that would have been an ambush. But no. So, but you get to set the range, Brian. You get to set the range for everyone. Everyone is at the same range, and you get to decide. You are the highest success.
Let's go with near.
Okay. So that's your killing range, right?
Yes, that's what the E-cannon wants.
Yeah. I'm guessing that everyone is shooting, right? Or is anyone looking after the mission and rolling those poison canisters down? You're just going to kill them all and then take care of the mission. Okay. So everyone roll to kill.
Yes, as the most senior person here, I should probably.
You should roll what you're good at and keep ahead of Kandinsky in the kill charts, right?
Yeah, you know what? No, no, I'm gonna do what I'm told this time.
Okay.
Yeah. And
ouch. So you
Kandinsky can just take it because I'm going to get the bigger kills no matter what, because I'm going to make sure that they're all dead. And this time around, he is just... Take that, Kandinsky.
So,
I mean,
Brian, you took combat drugs and then you rolled a 10. So you take damage from these terrible drugs coursing through your system. What does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, he's just... Pupils are just like the size of dinner plates, and he's probably firing the E-cannon just up in the air, like where there's nowhere near any aliens.
Yeah.
In his mind, he's racking up enormous numbers of kills. But
and just to remind you, you're going to take a kill from the aliens as well, right? Okay. So what have we got? We have Pasadena misses. We have Kandinsky hitting. Do we have a roll? Are you killing with Cable? I don't see a roll there for you. Christine? You're muted. Okay, so I guess the aliens are going first, so they are killing everyone. And so yeah, as soon as they kind of tell that you're not really one of us, you just kind of sound like us sometimes, they flit out, and some of these guys are pretty big. That 20-meter specimen that she hit first is not the biggest, and they are in this kind of heavy atmosphere. I think they actually kind of land, and then they use their tails like kind of bolas that just like sweep around at you. So yeah, everyone takes a kill from that, and then Kandinsky, I think you're next up on a 7.
Yeah, I haven't specified what gun I used, so I don't know. The last 2 encounters I had the rocket port, but that does 0 damage at Nia.
Yeah. I guess the one thing you can do is if you have the rocket pod out, you'll do no kills, but then you can change. Oh, you can't change range. They rolled an 8. Sorry. So you're probably better off starting with a slug rifle unless you're confident that you can start at.
No, I'm fine with a slug rifle. I wasn't
Okay.
sure if I have
Yeah.
to say it in advance.
Yeah, I think it comes down to whether you or Brian are going to get your way on the range, right? Okay, so roll your kills and describe how that's going.
An 8.
So what does that look like from Kaminsky?
So what is everybody else doing? Oh yeah, Terry is totally far out.
Yeah.
And Cable is shooting. And what did Pasadena do?
Pasadena's been shooting, but he's sure that Terry must see a bigger threat up in the air. So I'm shooting up there in the same direction.
We're slaughtering them, man.
Yeah, I think. Kaminsky has his wolf helmet on, and is howling and shooting at the birdfish.
Okay. And what is Christine? Do you want to roll kills for Cable and then describe how that looks?
Sure. So I think it's 2d6. Just need to double check.
Yeah, it's 2d6.
Okay. Okay. So how that looks is bollocks. I thought I would be able to, kind of school Kaminsky in how to kill these bugs, but I just equaled, which is
You're still one behind.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not really one behind because I fed him the other kills, right? He got, they were literally just fed towards him. There was no need, they were sets, they were setups. They were really one behind.
How did that look? I didn't get it fictionally. So Cable was
Actually, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. There's just a spray of bullets. There's a spray of wings, fins, gills everywhere. But all you really see is the irate Cable going, really?
I mean,
no.
does Kaminsky know that you were responsible for communicating with I think so.
I think it was brought up on the briefing, though, wasn't it?
The briefing, exactly.
It was brought up, but does Kaminsky believe that, or does he just think? Is he
was
just
he awake during?
Was he paying attention? Sure.
Was he paying attention?
There you go. No, he wasn't. So he, as far as he's concerned, no. He did it all by himself. That's perfectly fine.
Okay. So the aliens, having beaten everyone, are going to push you all to far range. And basically, it's not that they're escaping; they are like driving you back with this really terrifying whip attack with their tails, right? These things will slice you in half if they hit you on full, right? So they are driving you back and maybe kind of dangerously for the mission, although it's not really that important. They're driving you away from these gas canisters, which you're not. You're not going to push these back uphill while in a fight. So yeah, next round. Is everyone's fighting? So yeah.
I'm using the combat drugs to reroll.
Okay. So Christine, did you roll fighting ability? You rolled an 8. Oh, okay. Okay, so wow, we have okay, I guess Terry is not getting the last medal this time.
No, I think Terry's in rough shape actually, so I think I'm gonna have to use a weakness.
Well, you can use a strength, right?
Well, I could.
You can just
claim
that last one anyway. Get 3 in a row.
I'll save it. I'll save it. Let you guys get your kills.
Okay. So the aliens.
Sorry, I shouldn't have rolled fighting ability. That was a mistake because I don't have fighting ability at far. I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you have fighting ability, and
but not at far. Not anything useful.
Yeah, but what that means is that if you rolled higher than the alien on a success, you would get to move to near for free.
Okay.
So, and you just missed out on that, but you're not doing any kills. That's what that means. So, yeah. So I think actually, Terry, if you use your weakness, I guess the aliens go first, right? So they're gonna kill, so you have to use your weakness right before that happens to get out alive. And that'll mean someone else will pick up the last kill. Okay, so what's that? What does that weakness look like?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's fitting. We'll flash back to Terry. It's like at a party or something, and all his friends are doing drugs and having a great time, and he's just too nervous, and they're all telling him, no, relax, and he's like, no, I think I'm having a heart attack. I'm gonna, and they're like, no, you're not. Calm down. He's like, you guys poisoned me. You guys did this on purpose, and just like running off and like, spending a night, running scared, paranoid, sure that he's, all his friends are trying to poison him, and hiding in bushes and whatnot.
Bad trip paranoia.
Yeah, can't handle his can't handle his shit.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Or what's the?
So that takes care of a threat token. Sorry. So who? So yeah, everyone else takes a kill from the aliens. 8, and then.
I think I'm out.
You think you've just died?
Yeah.
Unless you use a weakness to get out as well. Sorry, what did you roll? You rolled a 7. Okay. Yeah, so that's less than the alien's 8. So yeah, you can use a weakness to get out, just like Terry did.
Oh, this is irritating me more because of Cable than me. Oh. two of them. You know what? Kaminsky, you're coming down with me. Right, so back in the academy, myself and Kaminsky, we were head and head, right? We were there. The two of us we were, nobody could tell us apart from our scores. There was kill scores, there was hit scores, everything was perfect. They were perfect. And you weren't allowed to have two people who came first. So one person had to come first. And on the last day of our, I'm going to say, pentathlon type thing, the night before, I laced Kaminsky's food with, you know, when you wear contact lenses, the solution that they're put in, that basically gives you the runs, apparently, if you drink it. And I've noticed that everybody on this podcast is wearing glasses. So that was apparently a thing. So I laced Kaminsky's food with that so that I would get first. He came third. Oh yeah, not even second, third. Right? But
What are we calling this? Flat track bully, can't handle the heat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You really can't. Yeah. No. Must have an out.
Cool. So yeah, you get out as well and remove a threat token. And then who is you got a 5 from Pasadena and a 6 from Kaminsky. So Kaminsky, you kill the last alien token.
Nice.
And roll your kills.
This is a D6, I think.
Yeah.
Very average.
Okay. So tell us what that looks like.
So I see. What is Cable actually doing? I mean, Cable is holding his pants and running away.
No, more like holding back and watching to make sure that you do the thing, and then is going to stride forward and say, "Oh, that was my plan all along." So yeah, you can definitely see that there's a look, and then I'm totally letting you get dead.
And then,
but like everyone knows you are chickening out of this.
Oh yeah.
Whatever your internal monologue is, no one is buying it.
Yeah.
and Terry is completely off the rocker, I guess. And so, I think, how many kills? 3. I mean, is it reasonable to say that Kaminsky shoots the gas cylinders, maybe?
Well, maybe there's just 3 of these really, really behemoth-sized guys left. So it's 3, but it's, they're big ones, right?
Right.
But yeah, if you want to tie that into like shooting those gas canisters as well.
To kill the last 3 big ones.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so
to shoot the last 3 ones, right? What happens is that you shoot one, your second shot goes wild, and you're left going, "Shit, what am I going to do?" Then you shoot one gas canister, which careens into both of the other 2, taking them out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is epic.
Makes sense. And then there's this cave filled with poisonous gas, like little ones falling down, trying to breathe.
Yeah, and I think maybe once you've released all these gas canisters, you retreat up to the top, and there's like anything that tries to escape just gets shot down like a dog or whatever. If that's the phrase that I can use without making Christine cry.
Yeah, I think about these scenes from like the 19th century when they killed all the buffaloes, where there's like a gigantic plain and everything is dead.
Yeah. So yeah, those the 17 Special Studies group look happy with their work. Those protective cowling work, the IFF jammer work, the poison gas work. They're giving each other high fives. Captain Chen is kind of really happy with her company's work. He basically committed the best kind of genocide that she likes to see when you're on the mission, and it's time to hand out medals, right? And I think normally medal ceremonies take place back aboard the Atlas, but in this case, she is quite publicly in front of everyone pinning the Crimson Sword medal straight on Kaminsky, and she grabs you by the shoulders and she's saying, I knew Sergeant Major Murphy was going hard on you, Kaminsky, for a reason. And this is the planet you've shown your real worth as a trooper. And like claps you on the back and maybe like pumps your hand in the air to the cheer of your assembled fellow troopers.
Yeah, and it's like he's more like I don't know, like a puppet. Like his fist is moved by her, but he doesn't feel it.
Yeah. Okay, so we there's the end of mission stuff. So the promotions, demotions, equipment stuff, getting the advance, which we can do. The kill count that I have is Kaminsky with 21, Cable with 17, Pasadena with 6, and Terry with 1. Have I got that right? So Kaminsky is getting the real advance. So you get to add 1 to either fighting ability or non-fighting ability. You get an extra strength. And then everyone else rolls off. So the other 3 roll d10 each, and whoever gets the highest gets the other advance for the group. Ooh, close. So Terry gets that one. You're staying pretty ahead of the curve on that one, Brian. You gotten an advance one way or the other every mission. I mean, the good news, if you use the weakness, is that you cannot be demoted from trooper. You can be demoted from corporal. Yeah, so if you use a strength, so you get 2 development rolls. One is your free one, and you can put that into a weapon. So basically to advance the damage steps on one of those range bands for any of your weapons. The second one, you can also put into a weapon, but not the first weapon you advanced, or you can put it into acquiring a new weapon, or if you use the strength, you can put it into trying to get promoted. And basically, if you don't get promoted and you use the weakness, someone can try to get you demoted instead. Which would be, and you love this. This would be a competitive, non-fighting ability test. It's a roll-off basically between whoever's trying to get you demoted and you. So we go around the table for the development. The basic weapon ones first. Brian, do you want to do your advance on the weapon?
Yeah, I'll definitely upgrade. I guess I'll upgrade my E-cannon at close so that it's effective there too.
Okay.
Do we have to roll for that, or no? One we get.
No, it's free. It's the second one that you roll for. That's why I do this. Yeah. Christine, what's Cable's free development? Now, I think your weapon is it's not quite maxed out, but it's getting there.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not sure.
So you've had 2 improvements at close, which means you can't improve it anymore. But you could improve it at near or far.
I'm gonna improve it at far, I think.
Because that 0 is just, getting you down.
Yeah, well, you know what? The dice are letting me down. Even the virtual dice let me down. Oh, right. So
okay.
That.
Harry, what's Pasadena getting on the board?
In terms of upgrading this weapon upgrade, what does it mean to go?
Oh yeah, so the steps are 0, 1, D6, D10,
okay.
2D6, 2D10. So it's basically like.
So could I take my hand to hand up to D6?
Yes.
From 1?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I'll do.
Oh, yeah. Brian has just posted the all the steps in the chat window, which is helpful.
Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, to get to D100, you got to start at 2D6, which means it's got to be like one of those really specialized weapons like the rocket launcher. 2 steps at far would get it to D100. Okay, cool. And how about you, Horst? What's Kandinsky upgrading this time?
Yeah, I think the rocket port to 3D10.
Okay. You're eyeing up those D100 kills for next time.
Exactly.
Okay. So for the second development check, you need to roll on an NFA to do it, and then you can either improve a different weapon, you can get another weapon, or you can go for a promotion if you use the strength.
I don't think it has to be a different weapon.
Yeah. Sorry, it has to be a different weapon if you're increasing the range, or you get a new weapon, or
What?
So if you just improve the E-cannon on your free development check, you can't improve it on this second check.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't see that. I don't see that anywhere. I know you can't acquire a weapon and then improve it in the same between, because the automatic improvement comes first.
Yeah, so
but I think if you already have a weapon, as far as I can tell, you can.
No, so on page 32, in the left-hand column, development role, it says characters also get a development role.
Oh, a different weapon. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Increasing different weapon.
It just means, I guess, you can't spam the weapon improvement on a specific one. You gotta be a bit slower than that. Okay. Sorry. So so I guess, has everyone rolled for that? So I've got a roll from Christine, which is a fail. I've got a roll from Harry, which is a success. Yeah, everyone succeeds except Pasadena. Sorry, everyone succeeds except Cable. That 2 in NFA is really a lot of trouble. Okay, so Brian, what's your second development? You didn't use a strength, so you can't go for promotion.
Let's just up hand to hand to D6. Do some martial arts training.
Yeah. I think the whole company is going, but what if we, like, this was never in the manual, but what if our weapons don't work? Everyone gets bayonets or something. That's what's happening. Harry, what you've already gone on that route. What's your other improvement going to be? You did use a strength, so you could use that to get a promotion.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that, but I think I'll bring my energy rifle up to 2d6 in near.
Okay.
Alternately, is it true that I could get a cannon or a machine gun or something like that?
Yeah, you could acquire a heavy weapon, or anything, to be honest, even if it's not rank appropriate.
I think he's going to stick with the light weapon, so he's maneuverable.
Cool. Yeah. How about you, Horst? What is Kandinsky thinking?
I'm thinking vehicle. Is that an option?
I guess in theory, yeah. Usually the APC is usually rank locked. It's not. I guess, yeah. Gain a new piece of war gear, weapon, or vehicle. I guess does include an APC, and I guess it's no different from saying you got a Paraclaw, which is usually only for lieutenants as well, right? So yeah. How does that happen, right? That's not a usual just tick a box on a requisition form. You got to talk to someone to get an APC. Well, sorry. The other option actually is a drop pod, which again is I think APC is captain. Drop pod is lieutenant, and the drop pod gives you basically, if you use it, it gives you an ambush on the first encounter on the planet. So basically, it's some kind of enhancement to the existing drop pods that you use. That gives you a free ambush basically once per planet.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that there's like a selection of vehicles. I was thinking about, I don't know, like I was actually thinking to get Terry to give me his surfboard, but I can totally see what about demoting someone? Is that also on the table?
I don't think that doesn't take your action though.
That's a different thing.
Yeah, actually, I flipped to the chapter on vehicles, page 82, and it says acquiring vehicles, you must be of the appropriate rank to get a vehicle.
Okay, so okay. I'm a trooper.
Gregor has obviously seen this one before. So yeah, you can improve a different weapon apart from the rocket pod. You could get a new weapon like a pistol or something like that, or yeah.
I will. Let's see. I will upgrade my.
Okay, before you make your decision, are you sure you can't demote someone?
Oh, he can try.
I will
but
try.
it doesn't. It's
but
not
it's
his development
a different
role.
step. Yeah.
It's not his
okay,
development
sorry,
role.
okay.
I'm improving hand-to-hand to these D6.
Okay. Cool. And now, let us read the emotions. I think it may be of interest. You may only be demoted if you used a weakness and you have not just been promoted. If a PC meets these criteria, they can be a target for demotion. Another PC can nominate the target PC as long as they meet 2 criteria. A PC can only be targeted once between missions. The nominator and the target both make a test of NFA. If the nominator wins the role, then the target loses 1 rank after a court-martial. Okay. And the good news is if you're a trooper, you are as low as they come, so you cannot be demoted. So, are people sick of Cable's shit? Show of hands. Okay, everyone's sick of Cable shit. So, Horst, is Kaminsky trying to get?
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost too much effort for him, but he does write the letter, and he says, and like it's completely full of spelling mistakes. Obviously,
Yeah.
It more or less says Cable sucks with an X, and he's unfit for duty.
Okay, so I guess it's not the normal thing, but Kaminsky is sorry. You got an improvement, right? Did you put that into NFA or FA?
NFA. I've got 4 now.
4 now. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Wow. It's better than 3 or 2. So yeah, you both roll NFA, and basically the winner of this test. So basically, you need a success, and you need one higher than your opponent.
Ooh, a 10.
So I mean, there's no.
I rolled a 9.
Yeah. So it's not a success, right? And there's no real critical failures. But a 10, we kind of, I think, like to give some kind of that kind of feel to something. And I think what happens is like your form or your letter goes into the system, and like the next day that you're back up on the Atlas, and Sergeant Major Murphy comes and sees you, and she just like gives you a thumb to get out of your bunk and get out into the hallway. And I'm not sure. No, she closes the hatch, right? She doesn't want to upbraid her people in public. And she has the piece of paper, and it's like, Kaminsky, you have a medal now. People look up to you. This bullshit. When we decide that Cable isn't up to scratch, we will do that.
What does he have to do, man? I mean, he did everything wrong. Everything.
Well, what you can do is learn to write a fucking letter up properly. I can't pass this to the captain. I wouldn't wipe my arse with this.
Kaminsky hangs his head. I should have, paid attention at school, I know. But
look, go to your field manual, chapter 13, disciplinary action, grounds for acts unbecoming. You read that shit, Kaminsky, and you come back in Echo Sector, and we'll see if we can get a stripe on your shoulders first.
Boss, can I get a new manual? I used the old one for isolation. It was really cold.
You used it instead of a pair of boots on
No,
the
it was-
juror because it was too cold for you? Oh, Kaminsky, will I get you a hot water bottle next time? Your field manual is the most important thing in your armory, soldier. Get back into your bunk. You use your newfound abilities to ask acquisition to give you a new manual, Kaminsky. Now get out of here. Get out of here.
Kaminsky rolls off on his.
And if Sergeant Major Lee sees you, or if Gunnery Sergeant Lee sees you in those fucking things, he will have you. But she smiles. She likes the Heelys that you're rolling off in. Yeah, using the field manual for insulation is not exactly what the writers had in mind, but it is good thinking, trooper. What's the? I guess you're all in that bunk room, right? When I think they are airtight, but you can hear the yelling of a sergeant major through anything. Or are you like clustered at the hatch listening? What's everyone inside that bunk room doing? Terry, what's Terry doing?
Well, I think Terry and Pasadena both were training our unarmed combat, so I think we probably have been taking turns jumping each other by surprise and like trying to choking each other out.
What is Cable doing?
Cleaning my gun. Yep, that's it. As per the field manual, because I had a very tattered field manual. But I still have one. Not saying nothing about no one else. I had to get one reissued. But I'm cleaning my gun.
How is Pasadena engaging in this like all hours combat with Terry? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've got a tussle going on. Bodies getting thrown back and forth against the wall. Especially now we know the sergeant isn't paying attention, so we can really make a mess.
And so when the hatch opens and Kaminsky kind of a little bit downcast, right, Horst? Yeah, kind of comes in after obviously having called out by the sergeant major. What's the mood inside the bunk room? Is it like whatever or?
We were all going about our own business, but later on, if I heard some of what was said out there, I might approach and say, "Hey, I'll help you write a letter."
Thanks,
Nice.
man. By the way, you know that Terry has a surfboard. I mean, I saw you riding these manta rays. That was awesome.
Terry has a surfboard? Damn.
I mean, it's not a normal surfboard. It's like an anti-grav surfboard. I don't know if you have ever read The Silver Surfer, but it's actually this.
So this is obviously before before Pasadena's time, but the first planet that the brigade took on in the sector was called Pollock, and the aliens there were basically Silver Surfers. And Terry nabbed one and got it to work, which was very exciting at the end of that final mission to allow you to escape from the volcano that was exploding.
Cool. Wow. Well, I'll start a plan to really be buttering up Terry now and ingratiating myself till I can figure out a way to get a ride on that thing.
Okay, cool. Unless does anyone have another? I think we're coming up on our time, but I'm happy to have another scene, or maybe stop the broadcast and do a debrief. Any preferences?
I'm good.
Kandinsky, would you like to have a really you think you're better than me kind of scene?
Yeah.
Oh, so see, you got a medal. Congratulations on that, I guess.
It's
not
just
in any way related to anything that I did to help you along the way. No thanks or anything, I see.
I mean, it's just a piece of metal. And I actually saw you shit your pants.
That was strategic, and that helped you get your kills. So you know what?
Okay, well, shitting in your pants can't be strategic. Where's the strategy?
It drew them towards you so you could shoot them. Right.
And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I shat my pants as well.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, no, we're not having this conversation anymore. Goodbye. Walk away. Just realized how embarrassing this is. Yeah.
The I am better than you, I shat my pants first is certainly a debating tactic I have not seen before.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
I think on that puerile note of humor after the merciless genocide of a peaceful alien race, that is the perfect time to stop the broadcast. See you for Echo Sector in August or September.